Hi, I'm Karen from Sangley Farms. We're getting ready to pack out your roasting boxes for March. Our very first pack is going out today. And I just want to remind you that we are Sangley Farms, a certified organic vegetable farm located on the North Fork of Long Island. And everything that we have prepared for you here today is made in our certified organic kitchen, fresh before your box goes out. What we have today for you is some really wonderful root vegetables, obviously, still into the root vegetable mode in March, and some things that are quite unusual as well. We have some wonderful Yukon Gold potatoes, which are always delicious roasted. We have multicolored carrots, which add delicious flavor and color to your dish. And we have a couple of unusual things here. One is fall squashes, a couple of different kinds. We have a red curry in here, we have a delicata, and we also have an acorn squash. Some of them do have their skin still on them, and that's perfectly fine. We left the skins on because they're very thin and they are edible. The other thing that is kind of unique in the roasting box is the cabbages. They kind of caramelize, get a little brown around the edges, but they add incredible sweetness to the platter. And we've added a little bit of red cabbage as well, which gives some really nice color. So cabbage is one of the unique items in your box, and then onions, of course, which add a wonderful sweetness and savoriness to the platter. And as an additional item, some bits of garlic cloves from the farm, from our fall harvest, and some delicious rosemary if you like that flavor. And what I would recommend, one other item I forgot over here is the arugula pesto. Again, that's an item that you can add if you wish. It's an optional item that you can add at the end, which I'll explain in just a moment. What I would suggest is that you take each item out of its bag, put it in its own bowl, and drizzle a little bit of olive oil, maybe a teaspoon or two on each bowl, and a little bit of salt. Again, that's optional. Toss it up, and then put it on a platter. And we have a card in your box which gives you the timing on the different vegetables, but the way I have it lined up here is in the order of the length of time it needs to cook. So your potatoes are going to need 40 minutes, your carrots will need 30, your squashes and cabbage will need 20, and then your onions you can add at the end need about 10 minutes. And what you can do when you add your onions as well, if you are opting to add your rosemary or your garlic, is to mash your garlic cloves, dice them up fine, sprinkle it in, take your rosemary off of the stem, do the same thing. You can leave the little leaves whole, or you can dice it up even finer and mix it in with your onions into that platter, into that tray, and let it cook for about 10 minutes. Shut your oven off. If you're going to use any arugula pesto at that point, perhaps you haven't added the other items, or maybe you have a second tray that you want to use the pesto on, that's the way to do it. And add a few dollops of the pesto across your platter, shut your heat off, let it melt in, and then after a few minutes you can toss it into it after it's pliable and softened and warmed. You can cook all of this at once on 2 trays, or you can do 1 tray at a time. It's up to you. But if you do cook it all at once, it does keep beautifully, really for the whole week. And feel free to use a lot of these items in various dishes, either as a roasted vegetable side for a dinner menu, but also toss it into your eggs, add it to soup, put it on top of a salad to warm it up. So there's a couple of really easy ways to use the product. And as far as your arugula pesto is concerned, you can use that as you would use any traditional pesto. You can put that on a pasta dish. You can even put it on chicken or even fish. You can use it as a dip with some kind of veggies. It's a wonderful flavor. The arugula is very mild this time of year, and it has your pine nuts, your olive oil, your garlic in there. So it gives it a wonderful flavor. You can even add it to a soup or to eggs as well to bring up the flavor on those products when you're eating it. So it has a lot of versatility and a lot of delicious things going on. Whatever you do, I hope you enjoy.